Minecraft Coding and Programming Section 6 walkthrough. At the end of Section 5, we had just completed the challenges on Sky Turtle Island. Some of your students may not have completed the challenges on Sky Turtle Island, and the ones that have may have already transported or teleported to Fault Line Island. And Section 6 will take place on Fault Line Island. So the easiest way to get all your students there, because they may be spread out, is to use the Teachers menu, press P or M, whichever one your system set up for. Find Fault Line Island, transport yourself to Fault Line Island. Once you arrive there, use the Teachers menu again, the Player Management tab, and then select Teleport all students to your location. Once the students arrive to Fault Line Island, they may need some disks. At the arrival area here, if you run off the side of the arrival area, there are some program disk suppliers. All you need to do is run up to a program disk supplier, and he'll hand you a program disk. Very easy. And then go and find a nice clear open space, because we will need space to write some of these programs that we're going to be messing around with today. So we'll place our turtle, and we will tie our remote to the turtle, and we will access the programming interface. Insert a program disk. We'll name this disk. We'll just name it For Loops, because that's what we'll be working with. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to bring out a simple move forward command. And the commands can be stacked in single grid blocks. In this one, we've put 3 move forward commands. And we're doing this just so we can see the comparison between the text-based programming and the graphical interface. So if we click the code button over in the upper right-hand corner, we can see it looks very much like the for loops we were talking about in the introduction discussion. We'll go back to the design window, and we'll write a for loop. We need to find some text commands. For, use a letter. We need the set equal to. One to 4. We need to tell it to do something. So it's a loop that will repeat 4 times. Tell it to move forward and turn, and then we will end the program. So we'll run the program, and the turtle moves in a square. Now, if we add a dig command to our program, we've changed it into a digging program. Now, we used the wrong dig command. Instead of using dig forward, we use dig down. Nifty. So we could make the program more useful by doing something that's called nesting a loop. And before we do that, we'll need to move the turtle to another location, so we'll have some more space to run. And what we'll do is we'll add a loop around our loop to make this more useful. And when we're running out of space, or we want to insert some space into this programming grid, we can set our cursor off to a side or off to a area and press enter, and it kind of works like a word processor. It'll insert a line. So we can also insert spaces to move everything out a little bit. We'll put another for loop around around this. Use the variable y for y, set equal to, and we'll make this one look a lot like the other one. Now we actually need a little more space here. So what this will do is it will dig a hole like it did in the first one, and each time it finishes digging the hole, the outer loop will cause it to move down a level into the hole that it was digging. So this should dig a hole that's 4 blocks square and 4 blocks deep, unless something gets in its way. So we'll try and run this program and see how it works out. And it looks as though it is working the way that we were hoping. And the student should be happy because they're finally getting to a point where they are writing a program that can mine, which starts becoming a little more useful for them. So the next step of this program will be for the students to write a little extra bit so the turtle will return to the surface when it's done digging. Bring the surface up to the, let's bring the turtle up to the surface so that we can give this a shot. And we'll just add a few commands to the end of this program. We'll say, just use move up, something as simple as that. Move it back up, and then we'll tell it to turn and move forward. So it's actually ready to run the program all over again once it gets up to the surface. So we'll give that one a shot. We'll run it. Here it comes back up to the surface, turns, and it's ready to run again. We could run it again from right here. Anyway, all right, so the next step in the programming for the students will be to alter the program, build a structure. And they're challenged to do it on their own, but they're also given an example program to try. And that's what we'll try next. So we'll go ahead and put that program, well, actually we can probably alter this program and make probably the easiest way to do it. So we wanted to place blocks instead of digging them. So we'll tell it to place a block and move forward. We'll need another line or two in here. Need another for loop. Now, let's see if this is, we probably should bring the turtle to an open space where there's not going to be anything in its way. That might work. So, looks like this turtle is going to need 60 blocks to be able to build this structure. We're going to need a few more blocks to make this happen. Uh, Perhaps the easiest way to do this, the students might just dig around themselves. They might send their turtles off to dig a few more holes before they went ahead and tried to build this. We will use creative mode and just grab a few more blocks for ourselves. All right, we have our blocks now. We have them in the inventory. So we'll go ahead and run this program, see how it works out. Perhaps we can get a better view of the turtle working if we move over to the side a little bit. There's an optional challenge that follows this particular activity. Students are challenged to add a flat roof on top of this particular structure. It's a tougher challenge. Some of the more advanced students will be able to do it. And there's some other ideas for things for the students to try. There is a solution for the challenge in the solutions addendum. When you're wrapping up the session, remember to save your work to the server